So we met Mary Beth actually through my mom. My mom was actually friends with her in high school, and they were both friends on Facebook. And so she kind of kept up with, I guess, Mary Beth's life, looking at her posts and seeing that, knowing that she was in real estate. And she, knew that we were both looking for a house together, and she introduced us, and we gave her a call, and the rest was history. We just kind of hit it off, and we really liked her energy and everything.
Once we met her, we knew we had to go with Mary Beth. So yeah, immediately Mary Beth would set up a system for us, and we saw all the homes, and she was so like informative and knew everything about what we were seeing, and it was really helpful going through the whole process with her.
Yeah, after we gave her our criteria, it was stuff that we were looking for, areas and stuff, and she set up the on the matrix on the website, and we were able to look at that. We did our own looking, and we were able to, hey Mary Beth, we found this listing, and then she would do more research on it, and she would help us along with that process. So it was she was very helpful in both those ways. Yeah, the process definitely changed. Knowing that we went through buying a home, pretty much during COVID and kind of, post-COVID, where the interest rates were so low, so the market was so competitive. We definitely we came in with a certain budget, and then, that definitely changed, knowing that you had to, maybe go over the asking price, and you might have to, maybe have to sacrifice a few things that we wanted. And so we definitely, throughout the whole process, it was changing. We went in with a big list, and we were like, okay, what do we not necessarily need? Maybe that's a little too much, and that was definitely good.
Yeah. Yeah, so originally Mary Beth set up a search criteria for us and selected our top items, and then she would show us the houses one by one, pointing out every little detail, not necessarily something that we would notice, and it was extremely helpful going through with her.
Yeah, Mary Beth did a great job assisting us especially in the beginning, where we were, brand new to this whole, area of looking for a home. Where do we want to look for a home? What do we really need? And we had our criteria. We both kind of figured where we wanted to live. And she was very helpful in she came up with a long list that gave us plenty of houses to choose from. Like almost sometimes it seemed like overwhelming. There's so many houses out there, so many things to see, but it was really helpful to see and kind of narrow it down from everything on the market to what we really needed, and that was extremely helpful. Yeah, Mary Beth definitely she definitely voiced her opinion in our criteria in a good way. She was able to, take our budget and then see, okay, you guys can afford this, and you guys can, seem like you're going to be a good fit, and oh, you're definitely going to be able to be competitive in that area and that price range. And because she has a bunch of clients, she kind of knows, with, what they're asking for, what they can afford, and what areas they can look in. If you have a certain budget, there might not be some areas where you might not be able to find a house that has all the other things on your list. So she was definitely able to assist us in finding those areas where we could get most of what was on our want list and still not, breaking the bank and going over budget.
Yeah, when we wanted to make an offer, Mary Beth was actually in San Francisco, and she immediately got back to us. It was like within an hour after we saw the house with her coworker, that she immediately, helped us set up an offer.
Like Laura just said, Mary Beth was across the country at the time, and during the searching for us during COVID, it was crazy, and that just kind of added to the craziness. But then, Mary Beth just proved how good of an agent that she was across, the whole country, but she was still able to answer all our questions. She was still able to get us set up in the getting a showing. The showings were booked solid. Every single house we went to, there was multiple people at multiple times, and it was just, relieving and relaxing that she was able to get us in, and that we were able to, because, who knows, it could have been the house that we wanted, and the fact that she was able to just be that productive and that keen on the details to get us in, even when she wasn't there in person, was super, super helpful. Yeah, so when coming up with an offer, that was that was a big discussion between Laura and I. Just especially like we said before, talking about this market where being so hot and the interest rate so low that so many people were in the market to buy a house. So it was going to be super competitive. It wasn't going to be just one person bidding on a house. So Mary Beth up front let us know, and we asked her questions all the time. Oh, how much would you go over, or what do you think a fair price would be? And she would always give her fair opinion, and she might tell us that, oh, you might need to go over a little. And she would never, though, force us. She would never say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. She always made us comfortable, whether it was, telling us, oh, waiving inspections or overbidding on the house. She always would be comfortable with us. She would never push us anywhere to saying like, oh, you need to do this, or I can't help you. She'd always be very comfortable, and it was a crazy time, but she definitely made it work for us and our budget too as well.
Yeah, Mary Beth has a large team that she works exclusively with that, really got us from, the start of the offer all the way through to closing on the house. She made the process so seamless, and, it was extremely helpful. Her whole team was.
Yeah, it was, obviously buying a house is no small feat, and, we knew there was going to be paperwork and so much information to be thrown at you. And going from step by step, where Mary Beth, I could call her at any time or email her or text her, and she would answer a question that we had about something we were signing that we didn't know, or just had a little, we just wanted further explanation. And especially towards the end of the process, where we were, finally at that home stretch, rounding third base, and when we were there waiting, and just everyone on her team as well was there to make us feel comfortable. Whether it was, getting us water or whatever, nice little things, and just explaining us before we signed the document, handing us a document, explaining to us what we're signing, what does this document, kind of summarizing it so we don't have to read word by word. And, so that was extremely helpful, and really just made you feel, like relaxed, and just, you're about to, probably make the biggest purchase of your life, but it was very calming and easy in a sense. Yeah, so Mary Beth, from the beginning, we would 100% recommend her. Especially, from the beginning when we started, during COVID, being brand new homeowners, not knowing too much about, the market, especially in how hot of a market it was and how competitive it was, and, maybe doing something, that a buyer would have to do now that they normally wouldn't do. It was just so nice to have Mary Beth by our side, explaining it, making it so easy, and also just seeing her enthusiasm, seeing how much she really truly loves her job. There'd be times when we'd be walking around in houses, and she's going up the stairs first. She's looking in every room. She's looking all over the house. She just really, never complained about, oh, can we go see this house over in that area? Can we go see that one in that area? Can we see two in a day? And she was so helpful with that, and she always loved doing it. And really, that thing that I'm always going to remember is just when she's in there, we kind of wrap up, we're ready to go. She's still looking around. She's still, you can just tell that she loves her job, and she just has so much fun doing it.
She definitely loves her job, and she's so knowledgeable. I don't know how you couldn't go with Mary Beth as your realtor.
Yeah.